I'm standing with Solomon. He's preparing to potentially go on to kill Tony, and he has the finest looking cowboy hat I've seen in this area, potentially. Solomon, how you feeling tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Garrett?
Doing amazing, and it was great chatting. You were reluctant to jump on a microphone with me, and I don't blame you. I am a redheaded stepchild, and there's nothing I can do about that. It kind of grew more auburn, though, as I've gotten older, and so I'm feeling more secure in my...
German or Irish?
I'm Irish and American. I'm a dual citizen, so 100% both. Oh, yourself, Irish?
Born? No.
Obama claimed it.
Yeah, born, raised in Pakistan, but most of my life spent in New York City.
Okay, interesting. New York City. Got it. And what part of New York are you from, and what brought you down here to try to audition for Kill Tony? And you've done it a couple times, you said, as well,
yes.
Right? You want to explain what's happening here too?
Oh yeah, well we are here at Poor Choices, downtown Manhattan, downtown Austin and 6th Street, and we're waiting online for Kill Tony. Kill Tony is the number one podcast, live number one podcast in the world, and we're all comedians. We put our names in the buckets, and we get picked up, and everyone goes up, does a minute, and then they have an interview.
The few chosen get to go up. How many people go up in a night?
About 7, 8, 10 maybe.
And how legitimate is the picking? Do you think they're looking at who they want to bring up and vetting?
No. It's like a bucket, and they just roll their hands in it and then just pick a name. And it's launched a lot of careers for people. And there's a lot of comics who have made a living starting from here. So I got here, I found out about them during COVID. I was living in New York City. I ran a bar downtown Manhattan in Tribeca.
Name of the bar?
Tribeca. It was M15. It's not there anymore. COVID took us. But yeah.
Rest in peace, M15.
Yeah, rest in peace, M15.
Which stands for?
M15 was actually the area code of that area, and we used to have like a M15 bus that went around that area. So my boss just went with just calling it M15. It was a huge club actually, and one of those like little places that you were like, oh, what is this door? And you go into the door, and there's like another door, and then you go in, and you're like, oh my God, it's huge.
So a bus kind of like the flower children of the 60s, like Ken Kesey. You guys were cruising around, touring New York, seeing the country, going all in. Is it kind of like that, or?
No, it was just running the bar, man, in New York. And then I came, the bar ended COVID, and then I'm like, okay, what do I do? I had to restart. I have a theater's education from New York as well, Stella Adler's Studio of Acting. And well, I never put to use to it, but I mostly did Shakespeare. And
you're kind of a song and dance man, you're saying?
Song and dance man?
Yeah, that's what Bob Dylan said when they asked him to tell his genre. Kind of a song and dance man.
Song and dance man. But yeah, and during COVID, I found Joe Rogan and Kill Tony and started following them. Got sober, got back in shape.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And yeah, I moved out here last year, and when they opened the mothership, it was like God's gift to me. It was like my birthday when they opened the club. That was their first. They've been delaying it for quite a long time, but I took a journey with them during COVID. I was like listening to Joe a lot, and then getting better in shape in life, and then Kill Tony was like, oh, it's another way of theater, but it's a different genre of theater, and I gotta go learn it. And they were like, hey, come down here, and yeah, I came out here, got on Kill Tony, and
you crushed it, right?
No.
A lot of knee slapping.
My minute was not that great, but the interviews went really well. It was
the interviews.
Yeah, they interview you. They find out what you are, where you're from, how you do, what has been going on in your life. So those interviews went. So first time I went on, they're like, "Hey, you good? Keep doing it." Second time I went on, they're like, "You got to keep doing it." So So that's what I've been doing for a year now, doing open mics. And
How long have you been doing stand-up?
a year and a half now.
Top joke? What's your go-to?
No, I keep it.
Make fun of somebody out here.
No.
Let's see. This guy.
Let's keep it civil for now. Jokes are for the stage.
What do you think about, it feels like many people are on a bit of a comedic pilgrimage. The last guy I had on was an Aussie who was down here visiting for a month, and he said that a part of his sobriety was actually getting into comedy, and like there's like a natural high in that.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, that people that might be, isn't this great with the noise machine here behind us too, hopefully.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
It's the life.
Yeah, man. There's a high of like there's a connection that you have when you're on stage, when you have that connection with people and you're taking them on a journey with you, and you know it's like a shared experience, and that shared experience is a tremendous high, I would say. It's just like you're feeling everyone's energy and they're feeling yours, so it gets like, oh my god, this is whoa. So, but yeah, then all other highs just fall away. They're like, nah. People, I mean, I'm sober like 2-3 years now, so 3 years. Yeah, September, 3 years. So,
Congratulations. So you almost kind of said it's a high getting up there, and it's a bit of chasing a buzz. And have you met many people that are here that it almost feels like a comedic pilgrimage? They're coming down here, like this is the hot spot right now that a lot of people are talking about, and it's kind of like the connection in the community. Even sitting here, I'm sure you've met a ton of people. Do you feel kind of like that? Maybe you guys should like walk circles around the block. I mean, what do you think?
yeah, it's definitely a pilgrimage for all like young stand-up comedians. This is the place to be, because what's happened since the Mothership opened, all the other places that were around, they have opened their doors and stages, because this is the live music capital of the world, Austin, Texas, and every bar has a stage. So they have opened the stage to the comedians. And what's happened? Oh, somebody just got pulled. Woo! Let's go! But yeah, like somebody.
So we're sitting here at the bar, and they're literally calling names for people to run up
Yeah,
to do,
and then they
go
run
do Kill
back
Tony.
to-
So
they run back to the Mothership, and then yeah, he does his thing. And
talking about pilgrimage.
oh yeah,
and-
pilgrimage. Yeah, everyone's moving out here, and what's happening is all the bars, they have opened their doors and stages for comedy. So it's like a gym right now. That's how I take it. Coming downtown Austin, it's a gym. You're working out, you're figuring out what works for you, where you connect, where you don't connect, what kind of jokes you say. So, and also it's like a huge community that's building up. I know so many of my friends are like that I've known for almost a year and a half, and everyone who's coming is becoming a new friend, and we're joining the club. And it's like a family here, man. It's a lot of fun, and we cheer our friends when they go up. We, have new people showing up, and they're becoming friends, and then you see them on the mics around the town, and you're like, wow, this is like you see their development, and it's happening. It's a lot of comedy.
Do you have clarity on where you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Solomon.
I've given up on anything planning or anything. It's just wherever the wind takes me is kind of like the attitude that I'm in right now.
You talked about being in the moment earlier
In the
too, as like
moment,
being really
yeah.
powerful for you. So
Yeah.
so don't have like a real clear.
Whatever challenges are being brought up, I'll take them and see where they take me. I've gotten here and gotten on Kill Tony, and they're like, hey, good jobs, keep going. So that's like, I don't know who's gonna come next, what's gonna happen.
Are you getting together like writing with people, or maybe you could talk to me about your writing process?
Well, it's still like I'm super young.
As in like preparing your minute to come up, and,
Yeah, so-
or any jokes, or it sounds like you're doing other gigs.
It's more like I let it come to me. I like stay in the present moment so much that what happens is like something catches your eye, and it's like all your being tells you that joke. So that's kind of like how, and then when you have it, and then you like do a little more thinking about it, and you're like, oh, it works. Oh, and then you keep working on it till it becomes something substantial to bring it up on the stage. And when you bring it up, it works. And if it doesn't work, then you're like, okay, what needs to be done? But the idea of it comes from somewhere. Oh, we were talking about the gut. Yeah.
That we were.
Yeah. We were talking about the gut because
we got to watch our weight.
Yes. No, I was telling him that it's the area that we were connected with our mothers when we were in the womb. So these were the first neurons that helped build the whole body. So those neurons have not been studied yet. The scientists are still like they thought that the brain and the whole system had more neurons, but this area right here has more neurons than anywhere. And the gut feeling when you have in a fight or flight state, you clench up in the gut. That's like, and the more you are in the present moment, the more you start living in the gut. And we were talking about like how ancient religions have been telling us to bring the energy down. And I think that's the meaning of the cross too, like bring your energy down and you'll be complete. So that's my take on it. But yeah, so living in the present moment, it's the key for me. And having fun.
Let's get into some passion and kind of purpose-filled questions. So what's the most alive you felt in the past 12 months?
Well, definitely on stage, especially on Kill Tony, because it's such a...
Can you give me a specific moment, an example?
Oh yeah, the first time I got on, it was like, oh my God, what is happening? And it was an experience that was, you're in front of a lot of people and you're doing it for the first time. That was a big shocker. And then the second time, same thing. Big stages do this for me. Like, it's like super, oh my God. But I kind of like look at every day, every moment in that way too. So it's like every day is kind of like, oh my God, look at my friend over there. So I don't know.
Okay, got it. Time machine advice. What advice would you give yourself if you had like a Michael J. Fox time machine? How far back would you go, and what would you tell yourself?
I don't want to go back. I've had a long life, and it's what made me. But I don't know. I don't want to go back.
You wouldn't mess with time and get a sports almanac or nothing?
I've seen too many multiverse movies. You mess with time, it doesn't work.
Wow, I think it's the first person that would deny the time machine.
I don't want to go back or the future. Right here, the moment is great. We're having fun. We have friends. Garrett's here. We're doing this. So
there you go again, in the moment, right?
Always.
What would be we'll spin it. What would be a piece of advice you'd give to somebody today, like a Generation Zer?
Oh, yes. I don't know. I'm pretty bad at advices. But yeah, man, like I was saying, the more you are in the present moment, the more your energy is directed towards your center, your gut. And when the energy is focused here, there's an equal distribution of energy through all the systems. When we're thinking too much or we're emotional too much, the energy is sucked up to the head or to the heart, and it's like an uneven distribution in the body. And what that does is it messes you up. Too much in the head, you go crazy. That's why we have so much mental health problems these days, because all the energy is going to the head. So you got to bring it down, and from there you bring it down to the heart. Then you get all emotional. That's not good either. You got to bring it down all the way to the center where you're in the present moment. And the more you are in the present moment, the more you have equal distribution of energy throughout all the other systems. So all the other systems are happy. When one guy is sucking all the energy, all the other systems are suffering. And when they suffer, they develop cancers and they shut down eventually. So bring it up, bring it down here.
That's powerful. Bringing that down from the head to the heart. It takes us on a journey of letting go.
But
it's been said.
From the heart, you have to bring it down. Because heart is you love it. You don't want to let go, but you got to bring it down. You gotta. It's like letting go of thought and emotion. But the greatest exercise to do it is to be in the present moment and listen to all the sounds, feel every vibration, pay attention here. The more you pay attention here, the more your energy starts directing down here. So
Best dating advice.
don't go on dating apps. Talk to someone face to face.
Status. Single. What would it be? On the online, it's you're single, or you're with somebody, or it's complicated.
Single. Like I was saying, he was talking about Solomon having a lot of women in his life. I was saying that I'm paying the price, and I'm single. Paying the price from the past, Single, yes.
Okay, got it. And what's the oddest job that you've ever had? The strangest thing you've ever done for money?
Oddest job, dishwashing. Yeah, I've dishwashed a lot. When I got here, the first job was dishwashing. Yeah, that was probably the oddest job that I've done.
What dishes were you washing, and why was it odd? I've had 2 dishwashing jobs.
What?
What's the what kind of dishes? I was doing like washing Bigfoots at Pizza Hut, and I was also washing dishes in Ireland at a cafe.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like an odd vibe for a lot of reasons. But curious, like why was washing dishes odd?
It was. Oh, I thought on the list of odd jobs you were talking about.
Like you said it was odd. So was there anything odd about it? Talk to me about how'd you get into that scenario? Because it's not usually like an esteemed thing that 3rd graders say that they want to do when they grow up.
It was odd because, I don't know. I thought it was like on the list of odd jobs, but it wasn't really odd. I was just saying it because it's. But it was. I did it for like 4 months, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of cleaning, but it was quite meditative too, and helps you like while you're cleaning all those dishes, you clean a lot of your stuff out from the cells. So I wouldn't call it an odd job. I made it into a productive experience too. I don't know, man.
Yeah, there was that monk that had a famous book, I'm trying to think of the name of it, where he felt like the deepest sense of God's presence when he was washing dishes in the monastery versus being in the church. Not St. John of God, but Brother Lawrence, practicing the presence of God. Really interesting, dude that was out there that just like he'd really, when he was serving other people, he'd really, in like not a lot of people esteem to that, but that's sort of like, it's more Jesus probably than a lot of things. Washing feet, so to speak. So if you had $30 million, $40 million, I'll give you $10 million more. $40 million hit your bank account today. What changes do you make? What do you do differently in 2024?
First of all, I wouldn't take it from anyone. I would like to.
You just hit your bank account. Someone passed away and it landed in there. I know you don't want to go back in time. You don't want money. You're digging this, but if you had there, then you could get rid of it. What would you do with it, or how would you change? Because getting rid of it could be a change.
I don't know. I've never really thought about. I don't pay attention to. Well, if I will make $40 million on my own, I will do something. I would probably buy a ranch and get some cows, plant some seeds, and live with the land.
Where would you get a ranch?
Texas.
Who would you bring with you to live out there?
Well, family. Yeah, well, I gave them the signal. I'm like, I'm going to Texas. I'm going to work my ass off, get a ranch, and anything happens, like COVID comes in, you're all, coming down. We'll live off the land and...
Homestead?
Homestead, yeah.
A few kids?
Yeah.
A dog running through the park barking?
Yeah.
The yard?
Yes. Well, I would like to have some land, so it's not just a yard. It's because COVID kind of like shook me up. That I was like I was born in a city, raised in a city, moved to New York City, and it was just all city life. Never grown anything, never planted anything, and first time I planted 3 lemon seeds when I got here. A few lemon, and 3 are growing. So
turn those lemons into lemonade.
Well, they're not lemons yet, but definitely for a lemonade. You're most welcome to come for the lemons.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And then finally, the top advice or the top word of wisdom you want to impart that has stuck with you, either that it's yours or you heard from someone else.
Well, I wouldn't say anything is mine because I'm just recycling information that I've gathered over life, and I've heard a lot of people talk, a lot of religious texts talk, and there's a lot of advices, but there's one advice that Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and he's like, you got to get yourself out of the equation. You're not doing this. You are going to war. You're not. You got to get yourself out of the equation. What I think his meaning is, you got to get yourself, because the head is where our ego is, where our personality, what we call ourselves, is comes from the head. So when you bring it down to the gut, you become part of the whole. Like you were part of your mom when you were connected to this, you're part of Mother Nature when you bring it down here. So that's like the probably wisdom that I would like to share with everyone is like, bring it down.
How does somebody do that? Because that's easy to say. To go from, I literally had this conversation a few days ago. I love your preface that it's not your word. I think even Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun. Yeah. So what do you think? So there's the trick to going a foot down.
Yeah. So
it's a long way.
So it's definitely a long way, and
thank you. I appreciate it. You're beautiful.
This is my friend too.
You want to say anything to the people?
We don't have any wine. We are recording.
Want to say anything to the people?
Austin sucks.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap up here. Give us a second. Excuse me.
We don't have no change at all.
Let us wrap up here. Sorry, man.
That's our friend. I know her for a year and a half now. The trick to it. So I was telling you before we started recording. Shiva is a Hindu god from ancient times. Is like even pretty old. So he has 112 methods that are taken up by
112 what?
Methods to bring your
meters.
Methods.
Method. Don't know what that is.
Like you have a method of doing something.
A method.
Yeah, a method. So he has 112 methods that they help you bring your energy down. So the idea is enhance. So all those 112 methods are basically to enhance your senses. So it starts from breath, from hearing, to like taste, to everything, from touch, to feeling. So what he's trying to get to you to do in those 112 methods is to bring your energy down to here. So the more you're in the present moment with your like listening, with your sight, and with your like body senses, the more you are in the present moment, the more the more you're like the senses, the more the senses are paying attention to the present moment is when the energy comes down.
I love it. Paying attention. Solomon, it was an honor paying attention to you. I love the cowboy hat. You're crushing it. How do people find you?
Solomon's Comedy on Instagram is SOLOMONS Comedy COMEDY. And then I run a little talk show podcast on YouTube as well. It's Comedy Cowboys, and we're having fun out here. Thank you so much for having me. And Instagram Comedy Cowboys, Solomon's Comedy. Check it out.
Well, I'd love to see you joke around because you've been very stoic and serious and deep and philosophical. So I'm imagining your jokes are about very interesting things. So check this man out. I'm curious. Respect.
Thank you.